Hi everyone, Sajid Amit here, and welcome to my long-awaited review of the Stax X1000. So the headphone is called X1, just X1, and there's a driver unit called SRM270S. So this is the driver unit that comes in the package. If you buy the full package, that is, and the full package will set you back, I think, around $800, $900. And the headphone itself is $500. And this is going to be a review mostly of the headphone, guys, because this headphone is more special than this driver unit, I think. But the driver unit is very useful if you want to drive this in a pinch. But this headphone, and the reason I said this is a long-awaited review is not because I'm trumpeting my own horn and, you know, I think everyone is waiting for this review, and I don't think people are. But I have been meaning to review this for the longest possible time, and work got in the way. A lot of international trips got in the way. A lot of business travel got in the way, all of which was very good. But, you know, reviews have taken a backseat for me. And I haven't been very happy about the fact that reviews have taken a backseat. Although, you know, I'm loving my life. I'm liking my life. And my life has been enriched by this headphone. And this is not something I say often about a $500 headphone. But this is one of them. And it might not look the part because it looks pretty basic, but it sounds anything but basic. And what I'm going to do today, guys, is I'm going to give you my stream of consciousness reviews the way I did for the Royal 1995 Imanes, which is, of course, at a different price point, almost 20 times more expensive. But see, on the one hand, you have the Imanes, which is 20 times more expensive, almost $10,000. On the other hand, you have something like this, which is 1/20th the price. 5% of the price of the Imanes, which is just shocking. And this delivers. This is, if you're not finicky about getting exquisite materials, if you're not finicky about, you know, the headphones being more over ear as opposed to, this is almost on ear. If you're not finicky about, you know, showing off to your friends and, you know, how expensive your gear is, this could actually be the end game for a lot of people. Stax has just hit it out of the park with this one, guys. I'm not someone who takes to e-stats that easily. Because if you followed my channel, guys, if you see that big headphone up there, that is currently the headphone that I use the most, which is the Abyss. And I had a long sort of tryst, a lovely relationship with the Abyss back in the day. I started developing neck pains, which I don't think is just because of the Abyss, or I can't even say it's because of the Abyss. I think it was because I had poor posture. And I used to sit long hours during the pandemic working away at my laptop. I just had the worst posture, guys. So people out there, I don't mean to preach, but ergonomics are so important. And if you are in this hobby, guys, I mean, just get something that supports your cervical spine. Headphones can get heavy, and it's not just one headphone. I think there's so many heavy headphones out there, which is another reason why you should get this, because from what I recall, this is around 250 grams. And this, I think, feels lighter to me than the Sennheiser HD6XX, which I incidentally have over there. But I think they're similarly weighted. So do take care of your ergonomics. This is good for ergonomics. And I will do a stream of consciousness impressions for this headphone. But before I get into that, this is the first impressions video, and I will follow up with a more extensive review. Stax is a famed Japanese house for high-end audiophile headphones. They were among the first to come out with headphones at, you know, expensive price points with cutting-edge technology, with insane attention to detail. And their headphones have been famous for a very lucid treble, a very beautiful mid-range, and some of the best in-class resolution money can buy. And that is true even until today. The flagship of the Stax headphones company is the X9000, which I've reviewed in the past, and I would love to get it back because I want to see how my views towards that headphone have evolved. I also am running this with the Stax D50, which you can't really see because it's tucked away behind me, and I won't be able to show that in this review because I'm going to use it and it's in my stand. But I might do a separate impressions video of the Stax D50, which is an amazing DAC amp for e-stats. And it's just, I say it's amazing because I've heard pretty high-end and very high-end amps for e-stats. But this amp is up there, and it might not perform the same level of technical performance in terms of giving you the widest possible stage. But the Stax D50 is very impressive in terms of giving you a very beautiful, natural, and neutral tonality. And it strikes a balance between neutral and natural. But without further ado, I will put it on and give you my stream of consciousness. Again, just one last disclaimer, guys. I'm not into e-stats generally, but I think I'm going to get into e-stats having been somewhat prepped for stats by my RAL 1995 Imanis, which also has not exactly an e-stat-like presentation, but it does have that sort of high resolution, airy, and liquid presentation. So I'm very excited to share my reviews of my views of this with you. So I'll start with the song. So just so that you understand my chain, I'm playing Rune, or I'm playing Tidal through Rune, and the streamer I'm using is Orender N20, which is an amazing streamer. The DAC, which you can take a peek at on my left, is the Mola Mola Tambaki, and that is going into the Stax D50, and that is then going into the Stax X1. So without further ado, I will play Pieces by Rob Thomas. And the first impression you get is that it's insanely resolving for this price. There are beautiful headphones out there at $2,000, $3,000 that do not match this resolution, especially the dynamic driver varieties. It's intimate. I don't get any treble fatigue. But it's just stunning in its imaging. It does the whole Stax-like thing of giving you this 3D imaging with great space. And there's a violin that comes in and is just astounding in its timbral accuracy. So this is making me sit up so I can focus. Rob Thomas's voice is just bang on perfect. It's fluid, it's lucid, it's warm, it's organic, and it feels so intimate, right? And it's just got this undulations in his voice, the micro detail, the nuances. Guy, this is the shit when it comes to this price point. But anyway, so that's Rob Thomas. Versions of the Truth by the Pineapple Thief. I play these songs over and over again when I test headphones, so these are very well known to me. Wide, cavernous stage. I'm getting signals coming in from different parts of the audio, you know, the perceptual stage. And what's beautiful about stats is that music comes to this floaty sort of way, and that only Stax can do. I've never heard a high-fidelity headphone do this. I mean, high-fidelity headphones are extraordinarily tuned, so that's there, and extraordinarily cheap looking. And high-fidelity headphones are some of the best in the world, guys. Don't think I'm knocking high-fidelity headphones. I might get the Susvara OG back. I'm not a fan of the Unveil, but that's a different story. The sub bass is impressive, and I've had this impression before that this is some of the best sub bass extension I've heard on an open back E-Stat. It's so good that I don't think I'll ever sell this, but you know, or ever give this away. So the sub bass is clearly well extended. It's at least comparable to a high-fidelity headphone in how hard it hits. So that is something Stax is doing. Maybe it's just coupling well because of the fact that this is a smallish headphone and I have a large head. And maybe I'm getting a good coupling. I'm not sure. But I'm getting a sense of the sub-bass kick that I don't expect from an E-Stat. It's not like an Abyss headphone, of course. It's not like an LCD4 either. But I'm not in any way offended by the sub-bass. And that tends to happen with most headphones for me, because I am a closet bass head audiophile. The drums have resolute, solid, tight kick. It's not overpowering, but it sounds right, and it sounds deep, and it sounds sonorous. It sounds decisive and tactile. The cymbals sound great. The drum sounds great. Lateralist by Tool. I like industrial rock. I like rock in general, guys. This is an acid test for me. So I fast forwarded to a busier part of the passage. Bass is great. Bass is great. Again, guys, it's ESTAT bass, but this is what a lot of high-frequency headphones sound like, and that's, I think, a very useful analogy because we do love and live with high-frequency headphones. Most of us have satisfactorily with the bass. So that's just to give you a reference point. So in the world of ESTATs, this is pretty extraordinary bass extension. And the best part of the tonality is that it's airy, but it's still somehow got this warmth. Like nothing in the treble is biting. Nothing whatsoever. That's to some extent perhaps because of the Stax D50. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, the way it starts and stops. I mean, what Stax headphones can do, and even this $500 baby Stax headphone, I mean, it's incredible. I should not call this a baby Stax headphone. This is not a baby. This is a small person. And this is getting weird. I'm sorry. This is a small headphone, but this is incredible. Yeah, and the staging and imaging is just so amazing. It's exquisite. Like I'm getting distinct, I'm getting distinct positional cues of the images. It's unbelievable for a $5,000 headphone. I mean, a $500 headphone. If they had fancy cups and a fancy sort of, exterior, they could sell this for $1,500 easy. Stax should have priced this $1,500, I think, and just given you fancier materials, but they didn't. Maybe this is their way of getting people introduced to ESTATs. And if it is, Stax, you've done an amazing, amazing job. And salute to you. Guys, I do want to talk about how this sounds with this driver unit, the SRM270S, because you can buy this in a pinch and buy it with this and, just get your feet wet in ESTATs, right? You will not have to break the bank for this. This is about $1,000. And if you want to do that, I highly encourage it because I can't emphasize enough about how much of a step up it is from anything in the $500 realm out there. It's way better than any Sennheiser headphone, and I love Sennheiser headphones. And of course, I'll qualify what I mean by better. It's way better than a high-frequency headphone at this price point, whether it's the Sundara or Ananda or the Edition XS. And high-frequency headphones are notorious for getting really aggressively priced after they've been out for a while. So you might still be able to get a high-frequency headphone at this price point, which is awesome. I mean, you obviously get the full package here for $1,000. You get this amp and you get this headphone. But guys, I'll tell you why I think it's better, right? It's better from the Sennheiser headphones because, let's just say, it's more immersive. It gives me more of a flagship, top-of-the-line headphone feeling. The kind of feeling I get from, let's say, a Hyphen Aria onwards. Like, let's say the Sennheiser, the Susvara gives me, or the Carbon 2 gives me, or the 1266 gives me, or the RAL Imanis gives me. And it's obviously not performing at the same level of technicality, but it's like that. It's got everything. It really flexes its technical ability. Like it's got a stage that is well defined, positional cues, a reverb, great resolution, and a fluidity of treble, micro nuances, microdynamics, you name it, right? So in those parameters, it outclasses, I think, the Sennheiser headphones at this price point. And I think high-frequency headphones are very good for their prices. Like the Edition XS, I think it's very technical for its price. But I think what it does though is it also has a tonality that is just not going to offend anyone. Like this headphone is just pleasing. It's just sounds natural all through the frequency spectrum, and you can get this and you'll still eke out pretty good performance of this headphone. And I think it's an amazing starter unit. And yes, all these impressions that I just gave you on the basis of trying to compare them with Sennheiser headphones and high-frequency headphones still stand if you use this driver unit. This driver unit is very, very good. But I do think the Stax D50 is astounding for the price. And I think a lot of Stax aficionados and ESTAT aficionados, especially the more veteran ESTAT users, whom I respect, sometimes they call themselves ESTAT mafioso. But anyway, so the mafia guys essentially tend to dislike Stax energizers. And I understand that because you do get a lot of DIY stuff that's perhaps better. But the D50 I have special praise for because I've heard the D50 with Stax headphones like the X9000 and the SR-009. while comparing them side by side with more expensive amplifiers from DIY manufacturers that I'll not name right now, because I have, I do want to work with some of these guys. But having said that though, guys, I think the Stax D50 is different, because I think you get a lot of bang for the buck with the D50. You get a lot of value for money. It looks beautiful. It's got a beautiful orange view meter. And again, I apologize for not being able to show you the D50, but the D50 does take this to a different level. And it becomes, I think, something that it becomes a keeper, even for someone who has expensive and high-end and the flagship level headphones. But with this will still, I think, outclass any headphone sub $1,000. Stax should have prices at $100 or $1,500, like I keep saying. I'll play one more track before I end this stream of consciousness review, and I'll try to look for a female vocals oriented track. I'll play I See Fire by Jasmine Thompson. She sounds beautiful. SRS-X1. It sounds incredible. Best I've ever heard. Vocals in terms of, hyperbolic. This sounds like an exaggeration. But I haven't heard vocals like this. Not even the Susvara. Physical reaction I'm getting. Reverb I'm hearing. This reverb from the stage playing Jasmine Thompson was not so evident with some of these more high-end headphones. There's an acoustic guitar that has so much body and weight. And the vocals is just mind-blowing. It's center image, it's precise, it's right here. It's like she's singing for me. It's like she's singing into my head. It doesn't sound great. I could have said she's sitting on me and singing, but that would sound inappropriate. And I try to avoid saying things like that. But she does sound like she's singing for me. It's as intimate as intimate gets. It's as intimate as intimate gets. This is an intimate masterclass of a headphone. It's so beautiful, guys. It's so beautiful. Check this out. Check this out. She says, maybe we should die tonight. Maybe we should all die together. We should all listen to this headphone together. It's not very expensive. I highly recommend it. These are my first impressions. I'll do a more extended review. I love this headphone for this price. And I am someone who's driven by aesthetics and quality of parts and premiumness of parts. And you don't get that with this headphone. So that's worth keeping in mind. You are making a trade-off. So in that sense, yes, it's not an open and shut case. A lot of us do like paying for premium parts, as you should. If you want to buy a premium watch because it's made with premium parts, all power to you. If you want to buy a premium headphone with premium parts, all power to you. I'm not going to say, hey, you should only chase sound. You should chase whatever you want. But if you're only chasing sound, it doesn't get better than this at this price point. Sajid Amit signing out, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.